Hello, so I thought I would make a quick video. Don't mind my green tea mask. I can feel the honey is like slipping. Okay. This green tea mask has helped me so much, you have no idea. I missed a couple days of my MSM and I had new pimples pop up, and it's helping them heal so quickly. So wanted to talk about the full moon and the energy of this week. I wanted to do an energy update, but honestly, all of the news was bad. All of the astrologers this week, I feel like, were basically just giving us the facts, just pretty plain and bluntly. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we had some issues with Mercury and Mars. Basically, Mercury is in Pisces. Mercury is not its best in Pisces at all. It's not very straightforward and forthcoming. Pisces is more about feelings and how things make it feel, not necessarily logic or what is the truth. And so confusion sometimes, and also kind of beating around the bush, okay, not being very direct, especially when it comes to like the conflict. So with Mercury in Pisces, and then you have Mars in conjunction with the North Node. This is happening in Gemini. Mars, there's some good things about Mars, like drive and having your crap together and how you react to things, but also Mars rules violence, dispute, conflict, also like weapons and things like that, knives specifically, if you really look into it. So when you have that happening, and it's also in a square with Mercury, which Mercury is already not at its strongest in Pisces, it's just basically weird energy. So if communication earlier this week, or if you just felt off, if you felt like things were happening maybe slowly, or you just couldn't put your finger on it, I think it's a collective energy right now that was going on. Sadly, that was happening around Tuesday and Wednesday. We are still going to feel this Mercury square Mars issues, even with our full moon, which I think I'm gonna post this video on Sunday. So I'm recording it on Saturday, but we're still going to feel this even into Sunday. So, you know, this is a good full moon, but you definitely have to know how to work with it. It's not going to be as generous as maybe some of our other, well, our new moon was beautiful the other weeks, but it's definitely something you have to know how to work with it. So that's why we're going to talk about it. But yeah, the energy earlier this week, it wasn't anything positive. And I really hate when you're hearing the same thing from everyone, from every outlet. I feel like it can kind of cause you to lower your vibration and just kind of be blah. And I did not want to basically add into that because I didn't want to, you know, say something that would have people, oh crap, and, you know, just change the way you're feeling, change the way that you're thinking, especially when a lot of other people are going to basically just tell you how it is anyways. So I just didn't want to add to it. And sometimes I think some of this stuff is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So maybe sometimes not understanding what is going on. My honey is killing me right now. I can feel it warming up on my face. But yeah, sometimes it's better just to be in the dark when some of this stuff happens. So if you're wondering what was off, if it was with communication, or if you got into any little rifts, any spats, issues, maybe actual like full out, you had like a fight with someone, then, you know, now you know. So basically we're gonna have a major karmic energy, which is interesting. It's fun. Karmic energy can be scary because basically we have some nodal activation going on with our North Node. This scares people. It scares astrologers sometimes because it definitely changes your path, and it kind of changes your direction, not really like when you least expect it. And so it could be a conversation, or it could be an argument that would change the way you look at things for a very long time down the road. So going back to like the karmic energy, and this has to do with Mars. So Mars on North Node. Then we also have Neptune. Neptune is stationing, I don't know the exact aspect. I'll know more next week or after the video when I look it up. But basically Neptune is moving right now, and so we're gonna feel some of that energy now, but it's going to get more intense next week. So whenever you have Neptune, obviously that is illusion, it could be disillusion, and it could be kind of dreamy like. It's not exactly all about the facts. It is kind of emotional, and sadly with this other stuff going on with Mars and then the North Node, it might be something where you're like in your own way, or maybe even someone else is in your way, but it's just, it could be you standing in your own way, or it could be other people kind of slowing you down. And if you guys feel like tension or the energy building up and you're like, I have to make a change, half of this is actually kind of normal, and I think in the long run it'll work out for us. It sucks when everything has to come to a head like within like a week and a half, or like all of a sudden, but at the same time we might look back at this and feel better that we basically called it for what it was and moved in a new direction, if that makes any sense. So we also have Venus conjunct Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer, and so whenever you have an activation with Chiron, if you've ever like lived, if you guys do astrocartography, if you've ever lived on one of your Chiron lines, it will bring up so much, just, I don't want to say issues, but it can kind of show you your pain. It can kind of show you the areas in which you might feel the most suffering. For every person, it's going to be different. Some of this suffering is very internal. It might be more about like your first house, so your self-image, and just how you feel about yourself. Are you someone who sees the glass half full or half empty? For others, this could be like happening in like your 4th house of like family and early childhood. For some, it's actually in the 7th house of relationships, and that it's not just romantic relationships. It could be relationships with like a coworker, or just partnerships in general. So when we have Venus, which rules over, you guys know Venus and money, Venus and relationships, but also Venus is kind of like how we view ourselves. So it's not just relationships with other people and bringing in love. It's not just finances and money and, you know, all that good stuff, and pleasure, you know, and usually to get pleasure, you have to have a little bit of money to afford the nicer things in life. But it also has to do with how we view ourselves. So Venus conjunct Chiron, okay, this happened yesterday. So yesterday being Friday, there's still like the conjunction with the North Node. So like I said, you have the karmic undertones, you have kind of like fate. That's it. Like we have this fated energy that whatever is going to happen was meant to happen, but it is going to change our path. And so if you feel like some things that maybe you are a little self-conscious about, maybe things that happened in your past that kind of hurt you, took you down a level, if you feel like those things are resurfacing, you know why. It's because we have some activations with Chiron, and it's about our wounds. So this is a great time. This is a great moon to do shadow work. It is a great moon to feel the feels, but also know if you're not feeling your best, if you're feeling low energy. First off, whenever we have full moon, new moon, some people will feel very tired, might feel like taking a nap, you might not have as much physical energy, and other people will be like heightened. They can like run miles. So depending on the person, your energy level is gonna be different. But if you just don't feel your best completely, it's okay. This is a time to do shadow work, and I would look at what are your thoughts, why are you thinking them, and what can I was doing some journaling earlier, and one of the prompts was so great, and let me see if I can find it really quick. This has nothing to do with the astrology. This was, I did a tarot reading for myself, and so one of the prompts was, how do I want to show up in the world? When did I last feel expansive, and how can I feel that, bring that feeling back? So for some reason I just thought about that when I thought about the Chiron and what's going off Venus and our wounds and the things that make us feel less than, or you know, the things that just make us feel self-conscious. So think about the last time, you know, you felt at your best. What were you doing around that time, and how do you think you could get back to that place? Or if you've never felt like that, what do you think you could do that would change that? Because this is the energy, like I talked about the energy building, especially with the North Node. This is an energy of fate and just turning points. So if you're going this direction, don't be surprised if you completely turn around and go in an opposite direction that you didn't really see coming. But it can be for the best if you're working with it. So don't fight the energy. If you feel, you know, not your best, it's okay to not feel your best, and it's okay to do that shadow work. Okay, so I had to take a pause. We're having issues with our dryer, and it makes this awful squeaky noise, and so I have to turn it off when I'm filming, or it like yeah, it'll hurt everyone's ears. Sadly, like I kept it in one of the videos last week and it was just like, I can't get through the video, and it's just like, that's how I kind of feel in real life sometimes. It is so squeaky. But I don't know where I was. If you notice things that make you feel bad about yourself, I would acknowledge them, and I would do some journal work with them and basically figure out ways to completely turn that energy around and think about what you could just, what do you want to change about it? Or honestly, this might be good leveling up energy. So maybe if you're just used to like, let's say when it comes to relationships, because this full moon is in Libra, which that rules partnerships and relationships. So it might be, if you were ever hurt in the past, how did you go about it? How did you respond? How did you react? And what was the outcome? Like, did things work out? Did it help you? Or were you kind of just run away with like your tail between your legs? Like, what was the outcome? And I would actually think about in the future what you could do to level up so you're never in that situation again. So that might help, that might not. I mean, it's really easy to say these things, but if you're thinking these thoughts or about things you want to improve, sometimes it's just easier just to like concentrate on the negative and not necessarily the positive. But I don't know. The energy is so much of change. Whether we're ready or not, things are about to change a lot in a lot of our lives, depending on where this is happening in your chart. Really go look up because we have Marn in trine with Moon and Saturn. That's all in air signs. Go look and see what on your natal chart, what those signs rule, to kind of show you what's happening with Mars, Saturn, and Moon. Emotions, Saturn more like long-term stability, and then Mars drive, but also it can wreak some havoc. Also, I would look obviously to see where is the moon with this. Mine is actually in the 3rd house, and so I was going to tell you guys, or just kind of read out loud the houses 1 through 10. A YouTuber did this for me, and I wish I could remember the video because I would definitely link it, but basically she had posted it years ago and I wrote it all down, and it's been helping me years later. So I'm just going to read down what I wrote. And yeah, so house 1 is self appearance. So you guys know when you see these houses and when you see like what planets are in these houses, you know what it's going to pertain to. So house 1 is your self appearance, physical body, outlook in life, major life themes, personality, and how you navigate reality. House 2 is values, things you find important, money, materials, attitude towards money, self-esteem, self-worth, and food preferences. I know that's weird, but it's actually true. House 3 is communication, transportation, short trip, exploring knowledge, hobby, mindset, learning, early education, sibling, and neighbors. House 4 is home, upbringing, security, deep-seated emotions, family, family environment, women, women's health, home, retirement, property, ancestors, unfinished business from past life, and partners, career, and social standing. House 5 is dating, love, our heart, passion, children, play, joy, romance, hobbies. House 6 is health, pets, service to others, nutrition, co-workers, and workplace. House 7 is relationship, partnerships, marriage, negotiations, and open enemies. House 8 is loans, finance, taxes, death, rebirth, transformation, intimacy, sex, trauma, fears, power, control, other people's money, debt, your partner's money, and the occult. House 9 is higher education, spirituality and foreign travel, religion, morality, and teaching. House 10 is career and social status, potential leadership, authority figure. House 11 is hope, wishes, social networking, friends, plus internet and groups. House 12, the last one, is subconscious, who we are to our core, spirituality, metaphysical, dreams, endings, loss, misfortune, hospital, temple, secrets, brothel, prison, our undoing, solitude. So some of those might sound kind of negative. Some of those are going to sound a little positive. Honestly, when you're reading those, it can go either way. It just depends on what the aspects are and how they're talking to your natal planets, as well as what they're doing in our everyday astrology. So depending on if it's good or bad, it really just depends on what's happening in your chart and obviously what's happening up there. So, but that was really, really helpful for me. So if you guys want to write that down, go for it. Full moon is going to be in Libra, and it's asking us to come into balance and harmony, because that's what Libra is all about, balance and harmony. And it's also an air sign, so that means communication. It also rules partnerships and relationships. But you have to understand, to bring or to figure out what needs to be balanced and what needs to come in harmony, you also have to see what is wrong and what is out of balance. So really, I think that's where the darkness and the shadow work of this energy comes in at. It's like, it's going to show us exactly where we stink. Like, it's going to show us exactly where our issues lie in order for us to fix it. So this isn't the most uplifting I guess astrological alignment and the most feel good, but if we know how to use it, I think it can do amazing things for us in the future and actually put this old chapter in the past and allow us just to be more expansive and you know, just usher in a new way of being. So I don't know, whatever you're worried about in the past, whatever your shadow work might be on, this might be the last time it actually affects you on an emotional level, because in many ways, I feel like a lot of us collectively are leveling up, and so it's gonna be very interesting. So enjoy all the feels tomorrow or today, yeah, just do your best, ground, meditate. I will be journaling, I will be cleansing some of my favorite crystals, as well as some of my favorite incense, and yeah, some candle work, and my favorite scripting. And so, you know, whatever you guys want to do it. With Libra being an air sign, it's about communication. So if you want to read out loud what you've written down, that would be amazing, because, you know, Libra is they like to talk, they like to communicate nice words. Venus, Libra is ruled by Venus, and so this would be a great time to do some self-pampering. If you're having issues with your skin, go for it, do your mask, maybe take a bath, and I don't know, it's just relax, just relax, and whatever comes up, just know that it's okay to face it head on, because in the future you're going to be such a different person.